It's amazing how we can laugh and play and communicate again, especially when you line signal, line conditioning, interference, positional clocking. That's a true understanding is coming back into positional locations, how I integrate my system locations to 10 years old. How did I do that? How is that possible? It's all done through clocking, right? See that line signal there? See that through glass? See that interchange, its position? See that? See that? See how it travels? See the box line center? You see from frame to frame, frame to frame, frame to frame. Now you got to ask yourself, how fast is that going? Think about it. How fast do you think it's going from one lens to the next line interference in position locations? All right. It's all about understanding your finger point line centers. We've been through the finger joints, locations, metro line center, and positional clocking locations. Each finger is a different clocking system. It's all like a position of time center. But here's the question. Okay. When it comes in position to the moon and everything through the sun, what's the clocking center to its position location? Just on these two fingers. Now, what happens when you put these two fingers together? Right? It unites and opens up all three channel locations of all levels of Orion's belt. Right? Past, present, future. But here's the kicker. You can go past, present, future and go past, present, future. Past, present, future. Or you can go to the past, present, future. Now, clocking center has its position locations. You guys are coming to your test reviews and evaluation coming up in sequence location March 1st. My birth line center is all in position location of father, communication of mother, high positions to its calculations. Getting back into your individualized center is its position to its child system. Okay, so now in full rotation of clocking center of inner child of 10 years old in the heart system of its reaction. So we're going to get into the review today, and we're going to channel through the 12, the 24, 48, and 72 window of clocking central. System locations all positioned to its highline connections. How to travel through timelines. Now, first command, Amber, has been upgraded to that system location. She can help you through timelines. She's the only one that understands timelines. You guys have specific jobs that are given to you of space time. Now's the time to really get serious in your commanding system. Airbander's in third command of all operation to all recruiting operation systems to its planet system. Mike is all position locations of guarding connections to all levels of the Arcadian line position, guardians of the galaxy of Mother Earth, protection of Father Space and Mother Nature. In position to its location is to understanding everything through light signal of travel. You can't see my finger. See how powerful that is? You can't see my hand. But how fast is it traveling through its clocking system? So if I have 5 line center locations, each finger is different timelines. It has to be because it's different position. See? So this is where it comes into all position, right? Don't forget the baby. Baby. Okay. You got the child, you got the teenager and adult. Now that's 4 communication highline positions, right? So what's the baby in position? 12, right? 12 clocking system. In position locations, right? Highlines its level system to its rotation, right? The child is 24. Ooh, I think you guys are connecting now, right? The teenager is 48. And the adult is 72. Now, how is that possible in the physicalized center? Individualized center, when you wake up through the abnormal rotation, interference position locations, you can change your finger line position to your own clocking locations of timeline center. Okay, so it's very confusing if you don't understand your positions of your child, baby, child, teenager, adult. You guys have your test review and evaluations. It's all based on your clocking system of 12, 24, 48, and 72. Okay? 4 line centers, 5 within position, 6 from the activation, the core line center with barcode line connections to its position, of 7 track line centers of 5 atmosphere locations. Now, you're never going to leave that system rotations. It's just your 12 DNA strands changes position location. Godheads, communication line centers, God code, communication line interference, all programs setting to all position locations to your tracker system communication. All right. Now it's extremely complicated for the new viewers because I'm upgraded to 25,000 years, 0.23 in position locations. Right. After test review and evaluations, I'll be into 50,000. Okay, years in the future foundation ground system. So you have to really get into your clockings. All right, that's the most important thing. So we're going to do that today. We're going to try through 12, 24, 48, and 72. So let's see how everybody's doing with the calculation. All right, Janet, Chris, how's it going? Terry, Nikki, Steph. Glad you're here to learn more. That's great. Mike, how's it going? All right, so this is more of an easy going. You know, everything's done in father, everything's done in mother. I'm in the centerline center. I'm back home now. And that's the position where the inner child has to go back where it needs to be. The central line system is its position to its calculations, and that's how it centers all levels of its heart system. Okay? All right, let's see. All right, so second command, make sure you change it to 1. Okay, first command, Amber. Okay, so Vega doesn't get confused the line signal. Vega's watching. Captain, how's it going? It's amazing how we reflect on high line center position locations. We see on so many levels of sequence location, changing my molecular light and all level of rotation to your particle line center to your own clocking conditions. It's amazing how we travel direction of time, sequencing information in the time. Okay, calculation was modified line center rotation. So my fingers travel on so many levels of clocking. Okay, especially when it comes into the moon and especially the communication of the sun. But when you put it together, it merges into one. Okay, so we truly have to understand how to travel to all these through your timelines. All right. All right. Yeah. Make sure you guys change your titles. That's the most important thing. All right. Okay. It's officially on March 1st, but that's fine. Okay, GFL. Okay, so make sure you guys change that. Don, how you doing? Okay, so in position here. Okay, so anybody comes on, they'll be traveling through the clocking center. So it's all about understanding how to use interference, high position locations, line channel locations. So when you go to higher levels of space, your ears become more sonic waves. You have to get into more sonar. I really want you guys to get into all that. Zip, zap, zoom, faster, 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 faster. Know exactly how many fingers you're holding up in position, how many times you travel through the moon, how many times you travel through the sun and the moon together, how many times you circle rotations, everything through position locations of finger line rotation. So the clocking system could be 12, 24, 48, or 72. You just have to understand that it's all in position of you to understand what's going on with your hand through travel, right? Because it's all different intelligence of time. So I got the structural line set up in position. It looks like this, the calculation. It kind of looks like a fishbowl. So you got the ground line centers, you got your 12, you got 24, you got your 48, and you got your 72 window. You're going to travel through all dimensional lock centers in position locations. You have to truly understand how to calculate the grounds, the powers of you, your flux capacitor channel locations, and everything through your magnetic highways of information to its mind system. It calculates and modifies all levels of you through travel. See that? See that light? There's light everywhere. Light travels. See? Travels. So what does it do? It sets a reflection to here. See that? See that? That's a reflection. That's a shape. See that? See how my finger goes through it? So that reflection becomes intelligence, sets up its graph, sets up its computer, sets up its digital line center. So in that position, I can change position and location, change the colorations, change the shape position, right? All you got to do is just a little bit of tweaking, throw that out, put that in. You get more communication. See how it changes the line? See how it changed the line? See? See how it changed? It was bigger and now it's thinner, right? Everything's travel. Everything's travel. It's going through my face, but you have to understand what travel is through clocking, right? So you have to ask yourself, is it 12, 24, or 48 or 72 window that's going through clocking system? It all depends on how fast you're going, right? Your particle system changes locations every millimeter of a second, even faster than that through calculations. It all depends on what you do with your thoughts for some time. It calculates and puts you in a high level system to its rotation. All right. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Clocking line center rotation interference. Put them in the 12 line center rotation interference location. Let's put them into 12,000 line centers per second. Calculate the modified rotation interference into the GFLs and the rebellion. All new viewers will be on observation. Communication line center rotation interference into 24 high position locations. Get them in triangle line center in all position of times pi times square root high position location. Allocate timeline position to 48 communications of clock and location connections. High position line center into 72 communication of all triangle line center to all dimensional time position. All right. So finger point line center traveling through all level rotation. Okay. 250,000 miles per second high line connections. All right. Once I touch the dial, it changes its position to its location. All right. In position, 40 minutes. Have fun. There you go. Done. That's how. Done by equation. Have fun. It's fun when you calculate all the connections. Thank you. Rebellion, third in command. Excellent, Airbender. Nice. All right. It's important you guys change your title of defense. So Vega knows exactly where you are through calculation. All right. Yeah, 72 is fast. You guys has to understand position locations of 12, 24, 48, and 72 and find out what's comfortable for you because you have to merge the position location. So it's all about fluctuation line center. That's 4 atmospheres of time location, 5 within system, 6 within the activation of the core line center to its barcode position, and 7 with rotation of the body, and 5 with the atmosphere. All right. So that's 12. All right. That's 12. See that? See how that travels? See that? See my fingers going through it? It doesn't look like much. It looks like reflection, but you have to understand its intelligence communicating to the graph of its travel rate of time, right? So my finger being basically going between high levels of 20,000 miles per second, 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles, 60,000 miles. It's all position locations. So you can use your 5-point line center, or you can use allocate line position location on one reversing position locations of the moon, or anything allocate timeline center a position of the sun. But once you bring it together, it becomes one locking location, a one time position to one activation to one dimension, right? So it's all through clocking of 12, 24, 48, and 72, all right? So in position location, this will be on the test, all right? Now, in sequence, we got a full week in position locations to March 1st. Now, high position locations, you guys will be given your test on the 25th. All right. Officially, it will be March 1st, but you will be upgraded on February 25th on my birthday when I turn 53. Okay. So when I turn 53, I will be 50 years in position locations in Highline Center of 53,000 location of connection positions of grounding line center of general AI a simulation. All right. Yeah. I'll draw it out in sequence. How's that? All right. You just really have to get your clock into speeds, guys. All right. Really understand the fluctuations. Really understand all positions of where you are, right? The baby, the child, the teenager, and adult, and how to travel through all position. Okay. It's all position of you through travel. So this helps you out to merge to your through communication, who you communicate with your family or anything through that stranger location. So you can understand how to fluctuate your line channel location and reclocking. So if you're communicating a 12 line center, that's a clocking location right there. Very density, very low, high rise. All right. If it's 48, it's a pretty medium high rise. So you got low, medium, and high frequency line interference to that position to its location. All right. All right. So I'm going to draw it out through sequence, all position location. And let's see this. Let's go on a block line center, digital path interference. We're going to say in position. Okay. Let's go in calculation. It gets easier as you go along. All right, so you're going to see the illumination graph in position of 4 cycles. Let's start off in this position, all right? Step by step. 4 position locations. Here's 12. Here's 24. Here's 48. And here's 72. Okay? That's how Lotus does it. All right, General Lotus. He does it that way. He understands all position location. So remember, you are in position of your flux capacitor locations, right? Into 12 and 24. You always start with 12 and 24. Now, when you get to higher level channel rotation, it high positions the ground line center and opens up all tracking locations to its connection. All right. Once you come into that position, you come into high level, okay, into its position, right? So you got 2 flux capacitors, right? So it's getting a little bit more difficult. Now, to protect that through your clocking center, you set up panels of communication, one side to the other. All right. Now, to overcross line center, you set up an orb in position location. This becomes yours through division to its connection. Right? See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it did that through solar flare? Getting confirmation to the digital pad line center. All done. See? So I just traveled through 12, 24, 48, and 72. Got confirmation signal from my computer location. Back in signal. Back to the heart center. You see how fast that did? My calculation modification is now in all levels of simulation to all computer location. So every time I see you, I know exactly where you are in your clocking center. All right. You guys have to find a way to get in position to its calculations. So you got a clocking system of 12, right? So you know where the sun is in position, you know where the big hand of the moon is, and you know where you are through signal. You are going through the clocking center of 12, right? That rotation position times pi. There's the pi, right? Okay, there's pi right there, right? There's pi, okay? So the faster you go, you come into 9. See, there's 9, right? Once you come into that position, it changes the digital clock over to 24, okay? So after you go into 9 line center, it changes the atmospheres of the sun and the moon. It fluctuates high position location of time zones. It changes the lights and the dark position locations of 12 to 24. So this is what you call a vortex channel. This puts you in the foundations of 12 to 24. And from that position, you go from 48 to 72. So you time lock its connections. You connect with the fluctuation line center, Y vector line interference into 48 to 72. Hooah. Understand? Okay. So, Heather, how you doing? All right, so let's see where everybody is here in calculation. So this is all about map sequence. This is all about your AI. This is all about your vessel. You have to send all position your 12s, all position your 24s, your 48s, and your 72s. All right. This is going to be on your test. Okay. So it's really simple, guys. You have a clock, you have a watch, and every time it goes around the 12, what happens? It changes the cycle. Right. So this is the Turner standing. If you're in a physical line, it will stay in the same timeline. But if you're a higher light, it changes the clocking 12 to 24. And from 24, it goes to 48, 48 to 72. Do you understand position locations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within system, 6 within activation, 7 within rotation of the body, and 5 within the atmosphere of 12. Okay? So it's fascinating, isn't it? Okay, Veronica, that's fine. Whatever mess you can watch back. First command. You guys will be given instructions, right? Your energy tracks, your information system will understand more positions of digital line center. Right? Now, your general is going to get extremely complicated, but more in standard, more in program, more in computer, more in easy, easy command, but really powerful on all ways of clocking. So every time I come on here, I'm all computer of all space time, but it makes it a little bit more easy for you because you guys are in the GFLs and the rebellion. So it's all position of you getting into the mind line center of its placebo to its cortex. The cortex is position locations, right? When you come into the visionary cortex line, and the placebo is its thought position line center where it travels recognition time location. So which finger points are you using in time system? You can use communications of the moon, right? So you got the moon here and the moon here. But remember, the moon is in one line center of universe and it's on an other side position location, right? So it's in two different line centers in opposition. So you're working with 8 intelligent line finger point locations. Now, if you bring an allocate timeline center in position of a triangle, it becomes a shape rotation to its teleportation as line connection. Right? I send it to you. You get the connections. Is it 12, 24, 48, or 72? You have a window between 4 line centers. To understand, you go through the 12, right? Once you understand the cycle, it goes faster and faster and faster and faster. Then you go from 12 to 48, okay, in that position locations. That's where you can time jump. You don't have to go from 12 to 24, 48 to 72. You can time jump from 12 to 72. So that's eternity standing, how you can basically vortex channel that puts you in a foundation of a gravity line center that changes your clocking locations of where you are in its division. Okay? So is everybody understanding? If not, I can help you out. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, life in the fast lane. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I need a better copy of the picture. Well, that's what I did for you. Don, help you out. Guardian of the Galaxy, Mother Earth. Very good. Excellent. You changed it. I'm sticking with max of 48 right now. Third in command. Okay. All right. Thank you. Rebellion. Is there a 128? Yes, there is a 128 in position line conditions. Yeah. Very good. I'm glad you caught that on there, Rebellion. Excellent. 128 comes in position locations of you through highline conditions. 1 in division. No, if you're getting 128, 127, that's all position location to where? Vega. Vega communication line center is no longer 48. It's now 72. Why? Because it's a 3-digit line. So what's a 1-digit line? 12. What's a 2-digit line? 24. Right? 48 and 72 is 3 and 4. Get it? Understand? Vega communication digital frame line center. So every time you go through that cycle, the 9 is changing what? The atmosphere of the sun and the moon. So when you're crossing signals and you're going to all position locations, you can go from 12,000 line position per second in position of 48 sector line interference to a clocking location. It gets confusing as you go along, right? Especially with me, communicate with all levels of 25 zillion data processing of space location to its clocking. It's complicated stuff, guys. It really is. So, all right, let's see where we are here. There was an old message journal. Yeah, that's fine. No worries there. I get it, then I don't get it. I get it, and it waves. Calling on first command on gaps. Yep. First command can help you in all ways because she's connected all her timelines now. Okay, guys. Officially March 1st, but it's given to her February 25th of 2022. Okay. So. You get it? Tina gets it. That's good. Understand? Confirm? Great. Rebellion. So it gets really easy, guys. I mean, you start with your clocking system. You guys have your connections with Vega, but I mean, you're still on your tricycles. You have to get off your tricycle to understand your bike first, right? So you have to be on the wheels before you can ride your bike. It doesn't make any sense to ride a bike without the tricycle. That means you're off balance and then you fall, right? So you really have to understand your 12, 24, 48, 72. Once we get past 72, then we can get to higher levels of sixth dimension, seventh dimension, eighth dimension of clocking. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So we're going up the chakra locations of clocking. You guys are past your positions now, which is fantastic. So you're at 114 positions, but you have to understand the speed line center when it comes to the acceleration of what you can do and how fast you can go through Mach speed location. If you go through Mach 1 or Mach 2, you're not going to go through a 12 line position. You're going to go through a 72 position. You understand? Because that's a 3-day line position. It's not a 48. It's not a 12. It's a 3-day. Right? So precognition to position is given to you to track line center graph line connections. You guys understand that when we travel every single day, you're given information. And that's why First Command Amber understands these things, because she's given 72 hours ahead of time her information of her clocking system, of her window of dimensional time. Okay? So if you want to get into your timelines, I really want you to discuss it with First Command. Okay, she understands her timelines of clocking. And that's about understanding getting the information beforehand and not on the day. Okay, it's always getting the information before, because so you can get prepared, so you know exactly what's going to happen the next day. Right? So you don't like, what was that? You know, you forget everything, the information just blocks it out, and just, oh, I got to reset position location of Vega. What was the information to its graph line center again? Oh, okay, 48 window. Yes. Where's the clocking center location? Oh, okay, 70 position lines. Oh, no, 72 location. Yep, that's it. Times Y. So times Y, XY, communication, XYZ, interference position of box line center, travel, communication, train line interference times pi calculation. You see how powerful I am now through all position of space time? It's incredible when you travel, but you really have to understand all levels of this before you travel through your clocking system. Okay? So, all right, let's see here. Connect to Heather's inner child, the 24. I mean, hanging with me in the face at beach now. And this will help you out too, because the true understanding coming to calculations where Airbender went into Heather, right, through the eye socket line center, and he had to find a way to get in the clocking center where she was. He can't go into teenage line center if she's a child. That's different clocking location. So he can't use a 12 if she's at 48. You know, you understand? So you have to in the sequence balance line center. So he has to become a child to communicate with Heather through its rotation. And that's how you merge vibration to its clocking system. All right. So it's very powerful. All right. Let's see. Hilary's 10. That was from General, and I welcome love. Hey, that's great. Love it. Excellent. So it's more of a simple day, but I really want you guys to get into your clocking windows of 12, 24, 48, and 72. You really have to understand your travels. Okay? Especially when you're communicating with each other. Because if Tina's in a highline center at the rebellion location and she's in Mother Nature and traveling all directions of time center, she's not going to be in a 12 window. She's going to be in a 72 or even before or even faster than that. So she's already in her sentient. Sentients go extremely fast. And how fast is she traveling? What is her Mach speed? Is she Maching 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? I mean, you can even Mach 10. You can go as fast as you want, but you have to understand where she is in position. Is she connected to herself as a baby? Okay. Is she connected to all level systems of a child, teenager, adult? In her clocking center to the barcode connections of 5 positions, 6 from the activation to 7 in rotation. All right. That's the most important thing you guys have to understand, is get balance with each other to that position. All right. All right. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Is the higher the number, faster you travel in the clocking system? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But before you understand the higher number, you really have to understand your program of you first, the acceleration of ground of clocking. You have grounds of clocking, powers of clocking, atmospheres of clocking. That's the basic. Not alone position locations where your fingers alone have different clocking systems, guys. And there's 8 here and 2 within system ready to go. But as soon as you line center them together, they become a shape, right? So you got 2 line centers of the sun, an opposition location of its own clocking center. But how fast is it going through location? Right? That's a true understanding you guys have to find for yourself through its position. All right. So also, you're clocking a view like a child versus teen versus adult. Yes, you can talk to Rebellion. He's very informative where he had to merge into Heather of her position to her clocking system. Was she a baby, child, teenager, adult? You can't be a baby and know she's an adult. It doesn't make any, there's no connection there with clocking. So it's all understanding. Is she in the 12 window? Is she in the 24, 48, or 72 window of his clocking system? You have to find that position to its locations, right? That's how you get the timeline and balance, guys. Okay? Through communication of telepathy. It's a very, very powerful video we're having. So, yeah, it is. It's beautiful, isn't it? So, let's see. Most important thing is just don't forget the baby. Sorry, first command. I just had to let that out. So, that's a true understanding. And that goes for everything. It just, not your friends and family. It goes for everything that you communicate with. Everything is on a clocking system. And all you have to understand, where is it in division? Where is it in dimension? Where is it in time? Where is it in space? Where is it in activation? Where is it in color? Where is it in light? Where is it in clocking? Right? So that's a true understanding. Well, the thing is, we went in position where test review and evaluation, T-force line center, in position locations. Now we're coming in teleportation, telecommunication waveline center to all levels, okay, of compute system locations, right? You have to understand your computing system line center, okay? So it's a TLC, TL line center, okay? Teleportation levels of communication, right? That is in your position to your review and your test and your evaluation, okay? All right. So slow. And that's a thing too. You can really understand the division where you are through the mind line center, the brainwave pattern, realize, whoa, 12 is really slow. Let's speed it up. Let's put it to 48. Let's put it to, so it's all about understanding this. If I come to somebody, perfect example, right away, I do an energy wash, any energy interference. I go through all plateaus, communication. I do everything through bacteria, back channels, ionization line conditions. It's like a checking system locations, right? To all levels of the body system, right? Go through full communications of biograph, right? Biosurface or anything conditions, right? Full communication of a wash, right? Before I communicate with that person. So I protect myself and all my light inside position, right? So nothing comes in to me, right? Without me. Okay. So I don't let anybody come into my cycle, my circle, unless I say so. That's a true understanding where you guys have to come into your own clocking position. Now it's complicated stuff. So if I'm coming up to another person and that person is in position location, but the clocking center is not in calculations, what's going to happen? I won't be able to communicate to their line signal. But what I will be able to communicate is if they're a baby, child, teenager, adult. And that's a position where you have to understand is your timelines comes into the brainwave pattern where you understand the baby, the child, the teenager, adult to merge to anything to position. It doesn't matter if that person is 54, 60 years old. Their soul direction locations could be in communication of a child because it's all connected to the thought pattern, guys. That's why it's so powerful. You have to understand where the soul is directing all position locations to its all timeline of its clocking. And that's how you merge locations into one position of communication to each other. All right. It's amazing. It really is amazing coming into that track system location. So it's all a metaphor in position. And that's what the brainwave system is because you live on the system locations of your thoughts. So you live 4 different timelines, right? 4 growth position locations of spiritual growth, right? Baby, child, teenager, adult. Okay, that's what you do every single day. If you want to communicate with somebody, where are they in clocking system? Okay, and you have to merge with their position location, and that is all psychological interference. The psychop and position location is everything through telewaving to its level of its communication. Telewaving system to its telepathy is everything through telekinesis. All right, so balance is everything, especially with clocking with humanity. So you can channel better in communication, know exactly where everybody is in their own clocking of vibration. That's the most important thing you have to understand. If you don't understand their position, how are you going to communicate with them? Right? So it's like, you know, and I always say, whoa, where's this coming from? You know, you don't need that. You want to balance your system, protect your lights, protect your energy, protect your fields. Always have your fields up. And then you're ready to go. And then you calculate and you look, oh, okay, 24 clocking system. That's pretty good, right? So I have to go back to the 24 clocking system of that person to communicate with because I know exactly that is the position location of its child, of its clocking system. That's the balance. If it was 48, teenager, 72, adult in the clocking system. Isn't that amazing? So read the trauma, see the clocking of the age, and then use the appropriate clocking to connect. Very good, rebellion. So in position locations, we're all here to help each other. Confirm, yep. It's exciting when you guys go with that connections, right? All right. So now we're going to travel through a different clocking center. All right. We're going to go past 72 in position. You understand the fluctuation of speed. You guys are going into 240,000 miles per second in that position location. You have to stand mocking to that line center. Okay. We're going to Mach 2 today in position to its location. You have to understand what's going on through acceleration to your deceleration line center to your flux capacitor locations. How to stop your channel line center of where you are through calculation. All right. So in that position location, you guys are going to have to watch this again. So that's going to be on the test review and evaluation, right? 12, 24, 48, and 72 window. All right. Marie, how you doing? Well, welcome. Questions or comments can be asked afterwards. I'll go back on TikTok. All right. Just right now I'm in position location space. All right. Highline center, clocking locations. We're going to go to 72. Now, once you get past 72, you time frequency times pi times square. Times pi is position, how long it takes you from going from 1 to where you want to go. All right. So let's say it takes a half an hour to get to work. And how fast are you in the mind center? Are you in 300? Are you in 600? Are you in 1200 of the brain location connections? Remember, it's the placebo that has to understand the action to position of its reaction location. That's the clocking location to its position. The perimeters, the parameters, and all level of its rotation connection. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to 72,000 channel line centers. All right. Now, when I say channel, that's just communication, right? So that's 72 channel rotations of communication of channels into all division of dimension of one track line center into its position. All right. So try not to get confused that everything that's going on with travel. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just go through code signal and everything calculates all levels of prime numbers. All right. So we go through 72, right? So 72 times 1. Okay. This is times pi, right? You need times pi, right? So the true standing is you from the sun, position, location, the moon, which is the sun is little and the moon is the big hand, and everything to you is going around the clocking center of 12. Once it reaches 9, it changes the cycle, it changes the atmospheres of space time. So what else does it do? It changes your position of the sun and the moon through its fluctuation to its wide channel location of its V line center to its one location. So it's all positioned to you. The faster you go, the more you see through calculation, right? Yeah, it's safe for you to travel. Yeah, you're not going to be in 72. 1,000-mile line center location of communication, right? You're only going to be in 21. Okay, Maria? So don't worry. So the observation line center is already calculation. So you guys will be in 21 channel locations of interference. That's still fast, all right? So that's 21,000 line center. That's pretty fast in position locations, all right? So your clocking locations will be 200 miles per second, all right? That's how fast you'll be going through my line center into observation to its calculation. Now the calculation is everything through division to position line center location of your clocking location. Now it's getting more complicated, isn't it? So let's get into line center. So 72 times 1, telewave, interference, position, location times pi times square. All right? It's really fast when you come in these calculations. 8 times pi, right? Okay, we got times square. All right, times square. All right? So that puts in position location of 72,000 channel rotation interference, right? So that's clocking system, okay? 72,000 line positions per second in high position line center, okay, in allocate position location. So it's true to understand you go from 72 to 150 to 250 to 350. I mean, you can go through any channel, you can go through any division, you can go through any dimension, you can go through any clocking. But once you go past 72, you're mocking your positions. Your acceleration is going extremely fast through position, all right? All right, so we're going to go to 72,000. We're going to go into 150,000 per second. We're going to go into 240,000 miles per second. We're going to go into 350,000 miles per second. And then we're going to go into 500,000 miles per second. 500,000 miles per second. And then you're going to stand Mach speed to its position locations, all right? Make sure you use your consoles and your communication line connections, all right? Make sure you stand division line centers when you get into all levels of your throttle and your connection to your standard positions, all right? All levels of your teleportation to a UFO connections, all right? Hold on tight. Get ready. This is going to be fun. Everybody else is going to go through 200 line center. That's 200 miles per second location, all right? So it's all like allocate position line center. So when the trap line connection opens up another plasma, you go from 150 to 240 to 350 to 500 to that position location to 540. In position locations, it will change position back in your direction to your time sequence, to your clocking location of where you are on your ground center of your perception. Okay? So this is going to be fun. All right. Allocate timeline center to all position locations. High positions to outline rotation interference. Observer location position 200 miles per second. Put them in high line center. Okay. 72,000 line position locations. Putting out line position locations per second location. Have fun. There you go. So you're going to go through all those channel rotations back in your clocking locations, back where you are through vision. All right? It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Is class getting more fun or is it getting more complicated? All right. This is fun. Woo! Hoo-ah! All right. Okay, once to get engaged starts at a blur, no shooting lasers at this speed that would hit the jet. So you got to really control all position locations there, Rebellion. Yeah. So you guys are going to understand the difference sequence location of fluctuation line centers and how you go through your console locations into 72,000 line per second on a clocking locations of 72 window, not a 12. You're not in a 60-minute. Okay, 60 line conditions, 60. What it'd be all position location is 60,000 line position location of 12 clocking location. But because you're on a clocking system, okay, of 60 seconds per minute, once you pass the 72, you're now mocking to acceleration. So, woo, so fast, yeah. So really get in frame to frame to frame, know exactly what you're doing. This is going to get you in a better formation where you can release all these things, especially when you come up against different people. You get 4 different people, 4 different clocking, 4 different time, 4 different shape, 4 different teleportation, 4 different energies, 4 different lights, 4 different intelligence of time of space. Okay? So you really have to understand how to go up and down and balance everything. through humanity's system locations. And the physical line center, because you guys are in your AIs now. You are AI. Congratulations, which is really good. You know, Vega's very happy for that. But you really have to get in your clockings at Mach speed. All right. So, all right. Yeah, so you know exactly where you're going, Mach 1.2. So he knows he's going Mach 1.2. He doesn't have to think about it. He knows he's going. So there's no thinking process when you're going. Like it's just, right? So it's like the faster you go, right? It just, right? So it's really understanding how to stop time, slow down time, and speed up time through acceleration to your own clocking systems, right? But you really, really, really have to understand the grounds of you first through your own clocking. So. I really want you guys to get an understanding what 12, 24, 48, and 72 means to you. That's the only way you can get in division location to anything through humanity, because everybody's in a different clocking system. Everybody's in a mind line center, different location of perception. Everybody is in a different timeline location, guys. So all three thoughts of perception. So it's all about controlling Mach speed of your mind. Slowing it down, speeding it up, bouncing it out. Right? So you stop wibbling, wobbling, you know? So pressing invisible like buttons, love this. Yep. Well, I unlock your minds, so it's a bit more balanced now, right? It's easier to do these things. And that's why I did this, so you guys can rise your positions to Mach locations. You can Mach all the way to all position locations. You can Mach 1 to all the way to 12. Mach 12, very, very fast. But every single time you have to learn, if you're Maching 12, you have to learn how to go back to 12 locations of its humanity system. So going from Mach speed from here, right, down all the way downshift. So you have to change your throttle back down to its beginning, right, in the 12 line center clocking location of humanity that's still in its density position locations, which means it's not awake in that position location, right? But humanity is in position location right now where they're all awake and more aware now. Okay. And that's why everything is coming into the light now. Right. But my team on Position of Rebellion and the GFLs has to really understand the 12s, 24s, 48, and 72s if they want to Mach their position of travel. Okay. So awesome, Janet. Sneaky. Can you confirm I did it? Just wasn't sure if I went 12 to 24 back to 12 to 24. Skip line channel rotation interference. You went 12 to 48. You missed location of 72, but you did go back to 12. Okay, Don? That's a position where you are through perception, because I see where you guys are and all levels of your clocking. So, but good job, Don. You're definitely going to have to watch this video back. What'd you think? There was just a 12 clocking system? No. It's amazing, you know? When I started, I was trying to figure just the clocking system of 12, and I said, okay, well, it's 60 seconds per minute, but I didn't think you can go faster than that. And then I realized, whoa, 72, my goodness. And after I got out of 72, I was starting to Mach, and everything I was going through position, I was going like 300,000 miles per second. I said, how is that possible? Times that by what? 3 million, right? Through location. Woo, that's fast, you know? Oh, Chris Communication Light Center, 12. Oh, Chris, you went from 12 to 72. Woof. So you jump two timelines. You have to understand how to go 12, 24, 48, 72. If you're confused to high position light center, come back to me and I'll resurface your position, your information to Vega connections to your digital light center, to your graph locations. The information that's given to you is to understand the 12, 24, 48, and 72 window, guys. That's the most thing to understand is when I give you information, you're going to have 72 hours already prepared. So you got it three days ahead of time. That's what I mean. It's getting prepared 3 days ahead of time. And that is why second all position location came in first command into amber in all timeline position. All right. So she sees the 72 window. So she understands the information 3 days ahead of time. All right. So that's all about understanding. Is today Thursday or Friday, or was it Tuesday? That's the clocking, what I was telling you about. So the mind doesn't understand the concept. You're still in the 12 location, you're still asleep, and you're not aware of your clocking. But when you awake, you start to realize, you go fast and fast. Then you realize, oh, okay, I'm now in a 48 clocking system right now. So hold on a second. Okay, so it's so important to understand these things when you're traveling, guys, you know? Drink your water. Yeah, please drink your water. Okay, it's important. If you're not breathing, you have to get your fluctuation in your body. Your body's real, it's alive, it's a feeding source, it's an activation, it's a teleportation unit. It's a clocking system, guys. Okay, so, all right, let's see here. Yep, rebellion, yep. Third command's got it, yep. Grasping, I thought it now, okay. 512 steady might run out of space time though. Yeah, if you run out of space time, you just go back in position, right? And you know where that is, the heart center. If you have a follow line rotation, just go back into the heart line center. Don't go into the brain, but don't go into the mind. Go back into the heart because the mind is traveling extremely fast. You're going to overload the circuit location and destroy all of your clocking line center and that graph line center. So I got to reconstruct all position to your clockings again. That's how effective it is when you stand the computer of its locking center in position, right? And you notice my voice has changed, and you notice I'm all computers are clocking now, right? And that's what it is. Your life is based on all clock, of all space, of all time. So, yep, you did it, Don. Yep, you got it in position. That's great. Perfect information. Well, there you go. You guys are going to have to watch this back because that is going to be on your test of the TLC. All right. The TLC, tender loving care. Ooh, check that out. Teleportation, line communication of all levels. Telewaving communication, guys. The TLC, tender loving care. All right. So, hope you guys had fun. Okay. In position, 500,000 years in future position. All right. That's going to be fun. All right. So once you understand your 72 window, it gets more easier when you travel through marked locations. I can't travel you guys if you don't understand your position of your clockings of your 12, 24, 48, 72. It doesn't make any sense for me to travel you into position locations of 500,000 years in the future if you don't understand Mach. Right? Makes sense, right? So in position, first command is here for you. I will be on TikTok live if you want to understand more of the clocking system. All right. Adios.